riders, it's Josh from CycleHunters.com, and today, a really beautiful, clean 2023 Suzuki GSXR, the 750. Yeah, these we do not see a lot of at all. These are kind of like that unicorn bike anymore, because the 750 offers such a wide range of use. It is probably the best in terms of size for a motor for a street bike. On these sport bikes like this, it's probably the best. There's 20% more power, I think, than the 600s with the 749cc inline-four motor that this has. And as we get into it, you're going to see gorgeous looking bike. It's got the maroon wheels, the black, the red and the gray, the matte gray finish, high mount signals, wet clutch, liquid cooled, as you know. This produces 121.5 horsepower at 12,560 RPM, about 53 foot-pounds of torque at 10,800 RPM. And like I said, it's about 20 more horsepower than your normal 600, so it offers that extra little bit. However, the difference, the bike's only 419 pounds, so it's not a very heavy machine in considering the rest of the bikes out there. So great looking machine, really versatile in terms of the main CC power output versus 1,000 versus the 600. It's right in the middle, a great spot to be. And for those who wanted that little extra power but don't need the whole power of the thousands, the 750 is the way to go. These bikes have been manufactured since the mid-80s. It is the last remaining 750 in the lineup of all the sport bikes out there. Suzuki was the one that kept it around. They brought out the first GSXR 750, which I actually did get to ride a long time ago, and I can tell you that this is light years away from that bike, which is very it's very happy to ride. Let's say it's you twist the throttle on an original Gixxer, the front's coming up, it's all over the place. It's a pretty crazy bike to ride. But this has the carbon fiber can on it. I mean, it's pretty much all stock with the actual tail section on here. You got your integrated tail signals, battery tender lead. We'll talk about that in a second. You know, it's got the spools. There's nothing really aftermarket on this bike. It's pretty much a straightforward stock machine. So, you know, there's a wide range of accessories if you wanted to do different things to it. But as far as it sits, the exhaust is really nice. It's pretty much all you ever need on something like this. These are great bikes. These are just great bikes. The tank's a 4.5 gallon tank. So you have a really great, you have great range. You have a great sounding bike. It looks badass. It's just a freaking gorgeous machine. Look at this thing. Suzuki Gixxer 750s. It's funny because things are sort of going back that direction a little bit as you look. We're going to know in the next several years as to how this is all going to play out. But until then, Suzuki's the only manufacturer that I can think of really that's making a 750 Supersport, Superbike. And the 750 class used to be the big bike class. The first World Superbike title was the RC30, the Honda RC30 by Fred Merkel. But that was a 750. All right, so again, the color is the matte. It's nothing really to show you other than it's a matte gray, which is kind of the popular stuff these days. And this bike's only got 8,369 miles on it. It's in really great shape, like I said. Controls, simple stuff. Your hazard lights. This is going to give you, as it says, pass right there. If you hit that, you can see it hit. See what I'm doing? Get out of my way! This is your high beam, low beam. And then if you're on your low, just toggle down further, it gives you the pass. Now, left, cancel, right, cancel, and your horn. So that's what you got. That's it over here. Pretty simple stuff except for the extra added pass, which they do have it up here. The difference is this is now going to toggle between modes. So you can see here, you can even hear it in there. A, B for your modes. And dash, centrally located. Tack, your gear selector, your speedometer, obviously your odometer, your temperature gauge, and then your array of check engine lights, fuel lights, high beam, and low gas up there. Let's see. I have to turn it on to see that for a second. But over here, I want to show you that you have obviously your on-off. This is your starter, your ignition there. But this is where you're going to toggle your trip meters, your clock, stuff like that, your timer. So that's all over here, okay? And then here is, again, where we start the bike. Now, I'm not quite sure. Usually,
when we service your bike, we hand you a key, not a need to have a toolbox.
Suzuki, sometimes you have to. Let's find out. Yep. I gotta pull the clutch on this one. So let's pull the clutch. Oh yeah, she roared right to life. It does sort of have that almost 1,000 deepness. It's a little deeper than the 600, obviously being a 750, but you can hear it. Oh my, yeah. Wow. Man, that sounds good. Sounds so good. This is snappy. It is ready to go. Sounds amazing as you can hear it. Oh, I wish it wasn't a cold day. This thing, oh, yeah, you know what these sound like when you're ripping up the road. It just is a glorious sound, a great sound. Now this is gonna be rear foot brake there. That's hand brake. Left turn signal rear. This is gonna be right rear. Got right front. And then left front. High, low, and then I push down for flash. There you go. That's your flasher. If someone's slow, that's how you get them out of your way. Or, you know, it's just something to let them know you're there. It's always a good thing. Yeah, this sounds really, really good. I just love the exhaust sound like everybody else does. And whether it's on a Harley, a Suzuki, it doesn't really matter. When you open these things up, they just come to life. It puts a smile on your face. It's something I didn't hear a bike all day today, so that's the first one. So I really do have a big smile on my face. Oh yeah, that's great. These Brembo monoblocks. You know, it's all modern stuff, sort of as Suzuki had gone through the years. There wasn't a whole lot of refinement. I think somewhere around 2011, 15-ish, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that was sort of when they had refined this to the point where it wasn't going to be any different other than maybe some looks, some color options. They pretty much had the platform, the format for the 750. And most of them, except maybe the 1000, has changed. So, you know, parts are available. There's none of that stuff you have to worry about, being the fact that this is a 23 as well. So you might not see a whole lot of the 750s out there because they get gobbled up quickly. And people that have them don't want to get rid of them because it really does represent this extraordinary Goldilocks zone of motor in terms of power and torque for the street. You know, it's easily enough power for a passenger and yourself, but primarily if it is just yourself, more than enough. A 600 is kind of more than enough, but if you have two people, it's kind of nice to have that little bit extra, and the 750 has that. Beautiful machine, as you know. Every one of our bikes, though, too, when we bring them in, it gets a 48-point checklist. So that battery tender lead, you know, we check the charging system, making sure that there's nothing leaking, making sure that the fork seals are done, steering head bearings we're checking. If there is something that the bike needed, it got it. And that's really what we're trying to make sure, that when you get a bike from cyclehunters.com, it is as nice as we can put it out there for you, as close to something being a newer bike or a new bike. This is pretty stinking close. It's not very far off. I mean, blemish wise, I've gone over this. There's really nothing that stands out. I never want to say they're perfect because there's always something. Okay, you know, a little bit of right here and a little bit of right there. And just a little bit right there. So it looks like it was up against something, or maybe just a little on the bar end, but a little bit of scratch there. So maybe it was just like laid over real quickly or something. I don't know, but it's negligible. You really don't even see it. But again, we go over them mechanically. That's really what it matters. Two wheels and a motor. You want to make sure that everything is safe. And the rubber on these Diablo Rasa 4s are nice and deep. Pirelli makes a great sticky tire too. My personal favorites, but there's a lot of good rubber out there. But this one's got the best on it right now, in my opinion. Everything's ready to rock and roll. So if you're digging this gorgeous 2023 Suzuki GSXR 750, give us a call at 717-273-1809. You can see our full list that is growing of our inventory, getting ready for the season to hit, at www.cyclehunters.com. You can email us at cyclehunters@gmail.com. We have financing options available. We can ship bikes if necessary. If you're close enough, we can deliver them. We do everything we could possibly do to make it as easy a process, fun, enjoyable, and hopefully we're making your dream come true to get the bike that you've always wanted. And I can tell you, the very first Gixxer that ever came out, I definitely wanted it. A friend of mine still does have it. And if you're watching this, my buddy Butch, shout out to you, brother. It's one of the first sport bikes I ever got to ride. And the best thing is he still has it. And I talked to him a little bit over the weekend. Maybe I'm going to get that bike up here, at least to look at it and do some video of it, because that's a classic. It is probably one of the coolest bikes to ever be in the world, in my opinion. Any of those original 750s are definitely the top for me, especially the Ninja ZX7. But Yamaha had the OW01, obviously Suzuki with the Gixxer 750, but Honda had the RC30, which, if you guys want to go see a bike, just go Google Honda RC30 and drool. But in the heyday of the 750s, the Suzuki GSXR 750 was running with them all. So if you're digging this bike, give us a call, 717-273-1809. Like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos to a friend if you know they're looking for a bike, especially the Gixxer 750. But until the next bike, happy riding.